But for this, what we're going to do is we're going to do it in stages. We're going up to 20 minutes with the door off. And again, I'm going to recommend that we get a wire kennel that's a little bit bigger. So the door will be on. You can't take the door off the wire kennel. We're just going to leave it open. And then basically when we get to the point where we're 20 minutes with the dog laying in there calm for the whole 20 minutes, then I would reset the exercise. But this time, as soon as the dog lays down, I would get up, come over here, and close the door, but don't latch it. And then we're going to wait for the dog to lay back down again if he gets up, and then start the counter. And then we're going to go all the way up, go up 15, 30, 45, 1 minute, and then go all the way to 20 minutes. Once we've done that with the door closed, then we're going to reset the whole thing. But this time when we close the door, we're going to latch it. But then when we do this, we go back to 15 seconds. So we latch it, wait for him to lay down, wait 15 seconds. Then we open the door, wait for him to lie down again before you let him out. The energy that he has in the kennel is going to be the energy he brings with him. So if you let him be a little Tasmanian devil, we're releasing him in an unbalanced energy. What we want him to understand is the only way you're getting out of here is by being completely calm. So when I actually let a dog out of the kennel, I apply the same technique. I open the door and I slide my feet up there. And then I move away step by step, and I don't let the dog out unless, now this is a nice calm energy. He's not whimpering, whining, he's not breathing heavy. But initially I would like to do it where he lies down. But if he's calm like this and he's not trying to paw at the door or whatever, then you can kind of do that as well without him lying down. But the idea is, so first we're going to go to 20 minutes with the door completely gone. Then we're going to do, go back to the beginning, and then do up to 20 minutes, same intervals, with the door closed but not latched. Then we're going to do a third time with the door closed and latched. And in the meantime, we're going to have the kennel upstairs while we're doing this, so we're practicing this exercise in the room that he's comfortable in. Ideally, it'd be nice to practice it there and down here, because I don't, again, what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is not a room that we hang out in a lot. So this way it'll help him feel a little bit more comfortable. We practice it here, we practice it upstairs. And that's why I would go to a lounge, get a couple chairs that are comfortable that you can kind of hang out in here at times where you're practicing this and you have your iPad, you're watching the game or whatever on your iPad, and he's in the room and it's a room that you hang out in. So the idea for this is, like I said, we're going to take away the negative association by throwing treats in there, letting him go and get him at his own power and leave. And then we're going to help him practice being in the kennel without the door closed, then with the door closed but not latched, and then with the door closed and latched. And the only variable is how long do we practice this. If he starts whimpering and whining, then we might have to go all the way to 2 hours for these practices. It's going to take a lot more time. The nice thing about this is it is a permanent solution. And the dog just doesn't have a panic attack just normally being in here. Now, one last little thing that you might want to think about, you would have to buy more fencing for it, but I have seen people that set up fencing that's like a 6 foot tall run in their basement. Putting him in here, if you have a 9 to 5 job, this is going to be too small for him to be in. And they do have some of them that have a lid on top of it, so he can't get out, and it's more rigid. You have enough room in here. I understand you're going to eventually make it finished, but this way, if you set it up, it's going to have more rigidity, and he has more room to run around. He doesn't feel confined as being in a kennel. That would be a decision for you guys to have later on. But right now, well, actually I moved in the wrong direction. I covered you up with light. So he's thinking about coming out. And I don't want to stand and wait there for too long, so I want to move back right away. Now he's licking his lips, which is his way of saying I'm stressed out about this. He clearly does not like the kennel. But this is not the whimpering. Normally you put him in here. I mean, when we were doing this earlier, we were just in this room and one of the guardians left and he started whimpering and whining just because the guardian left the room. He hasn't made a peep since we put him in here. Normally I'm guessing when you put him in here and close the door, he starts whining, whimpering, and trying to break out of it immediately, right? Before you even leave the room. So we're already made a lot of good progress, but this is going to take some time. And this is the one that takes people, that's kind of a calming signal, holding your paw up like that. Basically, a lot of people just they rush this process and don't put the time into it. If you put the time into it and are patient and help your dog through this process, you take away the fear, then they're not looking at the kennel as a negative thing. They're just like, I go in here and hang out and it makes my guardian happy. So this is how you can help your dog learn to feel good about being in the kennel by removing the door and making the dog stay in the kennel on his own, so he's the one that's developing self-control and the kennel is not the authority figure.